I don't know how long this really cute impromptu bun is gonna last. True story. Anyway, so there's this tag going around where I tell you 4 stories and you have to decide which one is not real. Okay, so let's get started. So the first story is when I was little. I think I was like in kindergarten, and my sister, and I got into a fight with my sister, and she grabbed this pencil from the pencil box, and it had like a sharpened lead point, and she literally grabbed the pencil and stabbed me with it. I remember I went crying to my mother, and my sister's younger than me, and she's such a hothead, and we literally went to the hospital, to the ER. I don't even know why. It wasn't like, you know, it was lodged in me or anything, and they literally just cleaned it off with some rubbing alcohol and sent me home with my mom, and waited for like an hour and a half, which really isn't bad because I waited a lot longer not too long ago, a couple years ago. It waited like 4 hours. But anyways, and she got into so much trouble, and I remember I went to school a couple of days later because it was during a weekend, and I told my kindergarten teacher, I was like, yeah, my sister stabbed me with a pencil. And I remember my mother just like, she kept looking at me like, don't tell that story, but yeah, so that's my first story. Okay, so my next story is when I was in high school. I remember it was this whole thing, we really wanted to hack into like the teachers network to see if we could go in there and not so much change grades because we all had good grades, but we wanted to go in there and hack into the counselor's profile so we can pick our classes for the next semester. And I remember we pretty much did it, and then it was a group of us, and we all got called to the principal's office, and the police were there, and it was this whole friggin' thing where it was like we committed a cyber crime. I can only tell you how thrilled my father was to come to school and find this shit out. And I swear to you, I was like sitting in the principal's office, and I was like, I'm not going home. I'm staying here. And I was crying, and I was like, I'm not going home. I'm not going home, because I was terrified of what was gonna happen when I got home, because it was like this big deal. You know, you don't hack into, you know, the computers, you know, the school system, but it was really just a game to us. It was kind of like a dare. We just really wanted to see if we could do it. And then when we did it, we really just wanted like something trivial, like to pick our own classes, but I was so scared. And I remember my father like screamed and screamed and screamed for hours. And then I remember after I had gone to bed, I remember he said to my mom, I don't even understand why it's a big deal. I remember he said that, but it was a big deal because we had gotten in trouble. But just hearing him realize, he's like they should be commended, and he did say that to the principal when he had told me to go wait in the car, because the next day when I went to school, the teachers all stuck up for us. They didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I remember the teachers had said that my father had stuck up for me and my friends, which you wouldn't have known by all the trouble we got into at home. So my third story is about me in the first grade, and I don't know, I had this thing, second grade, and I don't know, I had this thing, I went to a private school for kindergarten and for first grade, and then we ended up going to public school for second grade. And I don't know, I just did not want to change schools. It just felt weird. I wanted to stay with my friends at the other school, at the private school, and I think it was just a thing where the private school was just too expensive and we couldn't stay there anymore. But I didn't want to change schools. I didn't like the idea of change, and I wouldn't go to public school. I would literally they would drop me off at school, and I would run away. I would run out the door, and I would like go to this little park, which was like right down the street from the school. And I don't know why that made sense for me to run away, but I don't know, I was just scared of like new teachers, and I think I was scared of new teachers, and I was scared of just being in like a whole new environment. It was like freaking me out, and I would do that like for every day for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And then someone from the school board ended up coming to the house one day and just telling me that I had to go to school or else my parents would get in trouble. And I still continued running away for a little while, and my parents would like switch, you know, they would like switch me into different schools, all public schools. And I don't know, just one day, my dad sat me down and he was just like, you know, you just gotta go to school. And I don't know, just one day I just went to school and it was fine, you know, I met new people, you know, everything was fine, and I stayed there all day and I didn't run away. And I think just being there all day made it easier. Like as the day wore on, as you know, 10 o'clock hit, then 11 o'clock, then noon, it just got easier for me to just stay there all day, and I stopped running away. And then when I remember my mother and her positive reinforcement, when I went home that day, she gave me like a huge glass of soda. And she was just like, yay, you went to school. And like my reward was this huge glass of soda. It was so funny. And yeah, that was my first day, my first official day of 2nd grade. I stayed in school all day and I got a big glass of soda. Winning. Okay, so my 4th story is in high school. It was 9th grade, and I ended up trying out for the cheerleading squad. And I remember I was just trying to do like the cartwheels and the tumbles, and I was tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and I swear to God, I tumbled into a wall and nearly busted my head open. Just tumble, 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 tumble. Needless to say, I was one of those people that had no right to be anywhere near a cheerleading tryout. Okay, so now your job is to tell me which of these stories is real and which of these stories is fake. 1 is fake, 3 are real. So you have to spot the fake story. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Just leave me a comment below and let me know, and I'll tell you guys in the comments which one is true and which one is fake. Alright, you guys, to quote the greatest show on earth, live long and prosper. I'll see you guys later. Bye! I can bitch about Logitech software all I want. Still using it. It's not good.